my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is the third video, can't spit it out, the third video in my series from my first shipment for review from Pandahall Selected, and the link to everything you need to know is below the video in the text, so be sure to check that out. I'm really happy with everything I've received, and today we're going to talk about the buttons, the book corners, and the stamps. I didn't have a third B. The buttons, the book corners, and the books. How about that? So we're going to talk about the stamps last. So let me set that to the side. And we're going to talk about the buttons first. And most of you know that you can use buttons. Let me get a few out. Of any size, pretty much, as long as they're flat like this. I had this open just a second ago. Now, I jammed my finger, and it's all swollen and everything, so we'll see how much I can get done. And maybe I'll just, some stuff I'll just tell you. So let's say you have some buttons. Let me get my white paper back out. You can sew them on and make a cluster with lace and cloth. You can sew 1 or 2 or 3 on. Most of you know that already. You can use them as decoration on your page. You can just glue them on, say for a book corner, a corner embellishment. You can also, something interesting that my friend Elizabeth does over at Junk Journal with Joy, she has a Technique Tuesday where she shows different techniques on how to do things, is she sewed them onto a banner and put them on down the side of the page, and she also glued them on all the way down a page, and it looked really neat because she had all these different buttons. She had buttons that matched in one example. And so that was very helpful to me. Her last name is Riggle. I'm sorry, Elizabeth Riggle. Down the page to make a side border all the way down. So there's really not much more to say about buttons, you know, because everybody knows buttons have holes and you can sew them, except the great variety that was in here. These are coconut shells. They're not wooden. And look at the different buttons that are in here. So you get, when you order this particular package of buttons, you get matching buttons so that you can do a theme throughout your book. You also get these, a couple of these big ones. Let me look and see. Yeah, and this one is interesting here. Let's see if I can get my fingers in there to get it. Owie. I liked this one, and I think there was a bigger one in there that I was looking at to grab. No, it was this one, and you could use it either way. I really like this side of it, actually. So that's a few of the things that you can do with the buttons. You can glue them on your cover. You can sew them on your cover. And I'm not able to sew or anything right now because of my hand, and I apologize. In fact, I'm not very good at sewing anyway. And so that's really all we're going to talk about the buttons. Let's see if I can get them back in here. Ah, look at that. Oh, I know what else I was going to tell you. I forgot. My friend Cassie Stalsberg makes dangles out of buttons. Let me get some smaller ones. By using jump rings. So she takes a jump ring. I had my pliers out, but then I realized I'm not going to be able to manhandle jump rings. Oh, come on. There it is. For goodness sake. Well, you take the jump rings, there we go, and you put them in between. You run them through the holes from one button to the next. And you can make a dangle out of them. These are the biggest ones that I have. But you just run it through the buttonhole and it hangs down. And then you close it and you just rinse and repeat. So you do another one. You can put smaller jump rings in between with gems and things on it. You can just have a longer chain instead of hooking these together. If you're going to hook them together, all you have to do, oh, I see the jump ring is too big to go through the hole. Oh, no, there it went. And then you can just hook the jump rings together like so and make a dangle that way. And then you can put some smaller ones in between. And they're really cool. These are a really nice addition to the dangles that you add to your glue bottle pins, to tassels on the end of your books, all kinds of things. You can hang them from a clip-on like envelope or something like that inside your book. There's all kinds of things that you can use them for. You can hook them onto a paper clip and paper clip them without anything else into your book as a bookmark. There's just, like I said, the possibilities are endless, but I didn't want to forget to show you that because I was really impressed with what hers looked like when she got done with them. All right, I'm just going to set these back in here. These two, I'm not going to try to seal this thing. And then on the book corners, I'm going to show you what they look like on a book. And then I'm going to show you how to attach them. Okay, I guess I did get them sealed. There we go. No, I guess I didn't. So I really like these buttons, and I would definitely buy some more buttons from there. I've got quite a few brown ones now, the coconut ones, but some wooden ones would be nice, and also some different color of plastic buttons, and I'm sure I'll get those from here. Now, the book corners I showed you in the unboxing, and a book corner looks like this on the front, and then when you flip it over, there's a gap on the back, and it's open this way. And this is the part where you slide the corner of your book down in. Now, this is what a book corner looks like on a book. This is a book I recently did called Winter Fairies. And you can see it adds a lot to the way the book looks by having the book corners on. You put it on all four corners, or you put them on all four corners. So here they are on the back as well. And these are silver. This is my ginormous Christmas journal that I just did, and these are these pretty much. Okay, they're the same size, and they're just a little bit different on the scrolly pattern on them. So, oh, this is the one I just showed you. Now, the ones that you get in this package are, they're varied. So you have different sizes, different patterns. This one I really like. And I've got a case. It is kind of a cover to a book that I haven't put book covers on, or book corners on. Well, I haven't put the cover on yet either. So we're not going to actually attach them down. I'm just going to show you how. So this is a trifold. So it's going to go this way. And it's going to open like this and then open like this. And as you can see, it's not complete. So I definitely would put the cover on first and then put the book corners in case part of your cover goes down in here. To attach a book corner is super simple. You take this open area here, right here in the center, and you put a little bit of your glue. I recommend Fabri-Tac down in there. You don't need very much. And then you slide it onto the corner like so. And you kind of hold it until the glue dries. And that kind of gets it on there for you. Then you flip it over. And you have to be careful. You don't want to crease or scratch your book corner. And you just take a pair of pliers. Get a pair of pliers here. You just take a pair of pliers and you apply pressure here and here. Let me do this with my other hand. You apply pressure here and here, and it flattens it down and tightens it to your book on top of it being glued. So I'm going to do it, see if I can do it with my finger. Nope, you can't do these. These are sturdy enough that you can't do them with your finger. So that's good. Okay, and that's all there is to know about book corners. They're very simple. You just pick out the ones you want. There's at least 4 of each one in here, obviously. And I really like the variety and the different sizes on top of just the variety of the pattern of them. And on some of them, you'll notice there are what look like little dots in the corners or on the back sides. And that's where you apply the pressure, is right there on that little spot, because there's little like teeth on the inside, and that's where it's going to grab the best. Okay, some of them have it, the smaller ones don't. These have it on the back side. Okay, now we're going to play with some stamps. Let's set this stuff to the side. These stamps are made by Globeland, and they're sold by Pandahall Selected. This is a brand that I like. We're going to try a couple different shapes, sizes, and types. So let's go with these first. And then once you get them out, you grab onto the stamps. They're in another package. And then stamps come with a plastic piece on the front and the back. Now, I usually leave them at this stage because this is kind of hard for me, and it's just the packaging that comes on every standard set of stamps. The sticky kind of catches on it when you go to put them back in. So as long as you put them back on here correctly, the front and the back should usually stick. If they don't, then double check it first before you get rid of any of the packaging, and then you can just use the packaging as well. This is the one I would use, the bigger one, because you can see the stamps better against the backing. And actually, when you go to store them, I store mine standing up in a basket, that, you know, and I've got them sorted by type. And so these would probably be under miscellaneous or steampunk, and I would write, you could write it right across here, so that would be a good way to store them. So maybe I would put them back in the packaging. Okay, enough about packaging. just a few helpful tips. You just pull this apart. Let's take one of these bigger ones off. And then there's a picture of it left on the plastic so you know where it goes back and so you can see what it is. It's a little difficult to see what they are if you're not looking at the picture because they're clear silicone stamps. So you just stick the stamp on your acrylic stamping block. That's what these are called. Then we're going to take the ink. Now, I would have to say there's a 50-50 chance, A, with my finger, and B, because I'm not very good at stamping, that this stamping experience might go awry. You're supposed to do it the other way, but this way is easier for me to make sure I get ink on everything, I think. And then apply some pressure. Hold it for a second to give the ink time to grab onto the paper. My poor sad little finger sticking up in the air. And then lift the stamp off. Oh, look at that. Let me get it under the camera here. And give it a minute to focus. Whoops. That doesn't help, does it? So that turned out really well. And then you should clean these off. With the Distress ink, you can just wipe them off with a baby wipe. Preferably a wet one, but I only have a dry one right now. This dry one is working though. And then take the stamp off and put it back in the packaging. I'm interested to see how the ones that are words and also the ones that are these little little bitty pieces work. So let's put one of each on here. Oops, try not to rock it back and forth. You can smear it. Give it just a second. Okay, yeah, I was trying to get that little swoop on the E. And I didn't think I got it. Which I didn't. But you can see it on there. It's just me. And this little clock thing turned out really well, except for that little point up there, which I didn't see on the stamp when I was inking it. Let's do it again. Let's see if I can do a better job. Well, I did get it all over the block, that's for sure. There we go. Yeah, it was just me. You can see the difference between the two depending on the inking job that you do. Okay, so I would say that these pass. I never realized how much I used my left hand. I swear I'm left-handed and didn't know it. You want to make sure they're the right way up on the paper, so just feel your stamps and see if the rough side is up. I should have maybe used a darker color, so maybe black, so it would have been easier to see whether I had the ink on the stamp all the way or not. Okay. Let's set that one to the side. Let's get these books out. Got my long block out. I'm going to try this long one with the books. You can see that I did not clean the black off, which is my bad. It looks bad. And that's on the block, not on the stamp. I'm going to make sure to get all of the books and the bookshelf. And really, you're supposed to tap it and not swipe it, but let's see. Oops. Oh, nice. So that one worked really well. So now all I have to do is get this wet because it's not stays on or whatever. If it was stays on, it would stay on. Okay, and I'm interested to see one of these blockier ones. If you know what I mean, it's got a lot of solid to it. Remind me next time to use black when I'm doing a stamp demonstration. Wow, that turned out perfect. I'm getting better. Okay, and let's do one from this last set, which are paper clips, thumbtacks, and clothespins. should have left one in the packaging to show you and had the other two already out. I'm getting better. Let's try out this big paper binder clip. These will be handy in your junk journals if you don't have these, or if you don't want the thickness, but you like the image. Oops. This way we've tried a couple from each package, and you'll know how each set stamps so that you can decide whether you want one or all of them. Oh, nice. You can see the others. I guess I didn't have them very close and didn't realize it. If you hear my voice getting quieter and louder, it's because I have to look sideways to see the screen to see what you're seeing. Let's try this paper clip. Clothespin. It's another solid stamp. In other words, the picture does not need a bunch of small lines or anything. Yeah, that's going to come out, I can tell. Yeah, that one turned out really well as well. Let's say you have an image that you're putting on your page. You can put this halfway on and halfway off the object, and it will look like the object is clipped to the page. This is my theory. Now, of course, this would be glued down or whatever, but you could clip this so that it looks like so. Oh, nice. Now this has moved a little bit, but so now it looks like the clip is holding on the paper. That's pretty neat. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, so that's about all I have for you today. So we went over the buttons, the book corners, and the stamps. And you can get all those at PandahallSelected.com. There's a link to everything, all the items individually, and to the web page. And there's a discount coupon code for you in the links underneath the video. Okay? Well, I hope you had fun. I have fun playing with the stamps and trying them out, and telling you how to use the bookends and a couple different ways to use the buttons. And I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.